Authorities seized guns, drugs, and thousands of dollars in cash in a massive takedown. Find out where it happened.
I'm a little bit concerned about the disruption.
Only in Newsday, there's new pushback on plans to build a multi-billion-dollar power line under One North Shore Harbor. And only in Newsday will tell you how much the island's top-earning CEOs are making.
We have a lot of different things going on to try to, bring people into the brewery.
Only in Newsday, what local breweries are doing to increase business despite people drinking less. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. There's concerns over plans for a proposed high-voltage cable project through our North Shore waterways. Virginia Huey has this story.
I'm a little bit concerned about the disruption.
Pushback to a proposed pipeline project is growing on the North Shore. Propel New York says its multi-billion-dollar project to build a series of high-voltage cables under Hempstead Harbor will improve the flow of energy to and from Long Island. But the village of Seacliff isn't buying it.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a $3.26 billion extension cord with nothing to plug it into.
As the administrator of Seacliff Village, Bruce Kennedy has filed a flurry of objection papers with the state, raising several concerns. One is the impact of undersea construction to marine life.
We've planted over 2 million oysters in Hempstead Harbor over the past several years with the sole intention of helping to clean the harbor. And there are no protective measures in the joint proposal to protect those oysters. And the hard clams, which we have been planting since 2010, they are assuming there's going to be 100% mortality of those clams within certain boring areas and all anchoring areas.
Another issue is landowner rights. The village says it owns significant lands underwater in Hempstead Harbor.
They want to proceed as if they have the right to do this development, and they haven't proven that they have the right to do it.
Questions are also being raised about Propel's construction work possibly impacting Iroquois' 414-mile natural gas pipeline system, which runs in the metropolitan area.
They don't want this any disruption to the gas service, and they worry that without the proper safeguards and other things that could potentially happen.
Propel's developers told Newsday the concerns are unwarranted and that construction will be done in the least harmful way. They've asked judges overseeing the case to disregard the objections.
We do need energy, and it means people have to make sacrifices.
Some residents side with Propel.
I'm very pro it. I think that in order to compete, we need to increase our energy supply, to compete in AI, and it's got to go somewhere.
But the village of Seacliff stands firm in its opposition.
The village of Seacliff absolutely has no objection to renewable energy, better transmission or better reliability throughout Long Island, but this project doesn't offer any of that.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Only in Newsday, 10 of the highest paid CEOs raked in just under $7 million last year. According to the Securities and Exchange Commission, that's 115 times what the median Long Island worker earned. The bulk of the compensation came from stock options and bonuses. The CEO of Broadridge Financial Solutions, Inc., Timothy Goki, was the top paid exec at a Long Island public company with a $17.2 million compensation package. Now you can see the full list over at Newsday.com. And first in Newsday, officials say a Bohemia man charged in the alleged rape and kidnapping of a missing Long Island girl died while in custody last month. They say Daniel Burke suffered a medical issue at the Suffolk jail and later died at the hospital. His attorney says Burke went into cardiac arrest. And officials say breakthroughs in forensics helped identify the remains of another victim of the September 11th terrorist attacks. NYPD detectives say the remains are that of a woman. Now, her family did not want her identified, but were told she was not a member of law enforcement and did not live on Long Island. 50 names were added to this 9/11 memorial at the Cemetery of the Holy Rood in Westbury today. 5 names of people who died on September 11th were added to the front of the memorial. 45 names of those who died of 9/11 related illnesses were engraved on the back. And Greenport Village officials are backing plans for a new water pipeline across the North Fork. The first phase of the $25 million project would pump water from existing wells in Flanders to Southold via County Route 105 and Main Road in Riverhead. Now, not all residents are on board. The Suffolk County Water Authority is holding a final public hearing this Wednesday in Riverhead. And feds and local authorities confiscated an arsenal of weapons, drugs, and lots of cash. Newsday TV's Sherry Einhorn shows us where it happened.
Nearly 24 guns, some loaded, along with deadly narcotics, cash, and 1,000 rounds of ammo, seized during a raid on this house in Long Beach. The 2-family home sandwiched between a playground, a school, and a church.
Oh my God. Oh no, that's not good.
34-year-old Charles Burns, a known felon, is now facing 59 counts of drug and weapons possession charges. Several of the guns had serial numbers that were scratched off, and at least one was a ghost gun, according to police. When reporters tried to speak with people living in the house, we were verbally threatened with a pit bull attack and had to call the authorities. Police say it was complaints from neighbors about alleged illegal drug activity here at the house that first prompted the investigation months ago. The task force included Long Beach and Nassau Police, the FBI, and the Nassau DA's office.
Nobody has this amount of guns in their home if they're not selling them or lending them to other people who are committing illegal acts.
All of that unnerving to those who live and work in the area.
Why did they have those weapons and what were they going to use them for?
Task force members say the illegal drugs included cocaine, fentanyl, ecstasy, and others. Authorities say there could be additional charges and more arrests. Burns pleaded not guilty when he was arraigned over the weekend. He's being held without bail and is facing 25 years to life if convicted. In Long Beach, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
All right, let's take a look at your Long Island forecast with Newsday TV meteorologist Jeff Banson.
A pretty nice start to the week. Couple of pop-up showers out there this afternoon that continue through this evening. That's number one on our headlines right here. But nice weather continuing through the middle of the work week, and our next chance of rain does not come then again until Thursday. A little bit more substantial of a chance than what we've seen out there today. Let's take a quick backtrack to yesterday. How about that line of rain, some embedded thunderstorms that came through during the morning, brought around an inch of rain for the entire island. It started letting up a little bit as it got out towards the Hamptons. We then also did have some pop-up showers, kind of similar to the threat that we've had today outside yesterday during the afternoon hours, but really much of the damage was done during the morning. We're continuing to chop away at that drought, which is really impressive considering you typically don't do that as you head into the summer months. Typically, the droughts get worse over the summer, but we have found a way to make it happen with some bouts of certainly some heavy rain along the way. As we take a look outside, the reason for the pop-up shower chance is because of this upper level disturbance that's circling over the Great Lakes. So that chance will die down, though, as the heating of the day dies down because we lose the energy source that, really produces these showers, the ground warming and the rising air. There you can see about 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe one last little straggler up towards the North Shore. And then a beautiful overnight. The humidity is markedly less today than it was yesterday. Dew points dropped from the 60s into even the upper 50s at times. That will continue to get better as we go over the next couple of days before it then starts going back in the other direction. A nice crisp morning out there. And then tomorrow is a pretty similar day. Sunshine in the morning, mixing with a few clouds in the afternoon and a spot shower because that upper level disturbance is still nearby. But most of us do not see that. And then Wednesday, I think, probably the least chance of any rain, although we will see some more clouds moving in by the afternoon. Thursday starts okay, but showers and storms later in the day as our next front comes in. We'll have the rest of the 7-day forecast coming up in a bit.
Coming up, schools are scrapping summer reading lists, what districts are doing instead to get kids to pick up books on their break. And data shows alcohol sales are down across the country, while local businesses are doing to attract more customers who actually want to drink. With back to school right around the corner, there's a giveaway helping kids get ready for the first day.
We actually grow our own hops, barley, and sunflowers.
How a North Fork brewery is embracing the farm to pint concept. It's all coming up on Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
No one covers the East End like Doug Geed on Newsday TV.
A lot of Long Islanders say they prefer fall over summer, but they still want to enjoy the outdoors.
Explore the hidden and not so hidden gems of the North and South Fork.
This sprawling property on the North Fork has certainly changed over the centuries, but it's been farmed by the same family all those years.
On Out East with Doug Geed at newsday.com/outeast. Take an inside look at Long Island businesses as Newsday presents LI Works. Join Ken Buffa as he samples unique jobs and meets the people behind them. LI Works, now available at newsday.com/LI Works. You'll always find something exciting with Carissa Kelman on Newsday TV. From vacations and destinations to hidden places and insider spaces. Let's go with Carissa Kelman, now available at newsday.com/Carissa.
Long Island is fortunate to have some great schools.
The future of Long Island is in the classroom.
It makes a difference when people see their faces and experiences in the pages of our newspaper.
You want to know, how's it going at my old high school?
Parents and students alike are making big decisions about where to go to school, how much student debt to take on. And here at Newsday, we help people make those decisions about their lives.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
Albany is a beehive of activity. Protests outside, rallies on one side of the Capitol.
There's a lot of screaming up on the national park, but the things that impact us happen locally.
Readers can expect in-depth explainers that really dive into the issues that directly affect Long Islanders.
No other television station, no other newspaper is going to focus on the issues that affect Long Islanders as Newsday.
If you don't have anybody keeping an eye out for that, you got a problem.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
Only in Newsday, new data shows alcohol sales are down across the nation. It's because younger people are drinking less. In fact, a new Gallup poll finds 54% of U.S. adults say they consume alcohol. And that's the same percentage from last year and the lowest in 90 years. So some local bars and breweries are finding creative ways to bring in new crowds.
During the week, on the nights that it's slower, we're doing things like, the bonsai, the tree making, and we're doing another thing called Sip and Suck, which is succulent plants, and we do, arts and crafts types of stuff, bedazzling other things. We'll do a cooking class. So we have a lot of different things going on to try to, bring people into the brewery and get us noticed.
Newsday business reporter Tori Parrish explains why people are drinking less.
Younger people are drinking less than previous generations did because of health concerns and more aware of health and the dangers of drinking. And so the bars and breweries are trying to bring in more non-alcoholic things, more mocktails, also lower alcohol drinks. And some of the research I've shown, because marijuana has been legalized in about half the states now and for recreational use, the public perception of marijuana has changed over the past several decades, so it's more socially accepted than it used to be. So more people are smoking or vaping or however they're consuming it, and that's also a factor in fewer people drinking. Another factor is GLP-1 weight loss medications, such as Ozempic, Wegovy. Those could affect the user's tolerance for alcohol, can make them sick, or they just don't crave it anymore, so that also is a factor as well.
Oh. Now you can read Tori's full reporting over at Newsday.com. Zillow and Redfin have agreed to settle federal and state lawsuits that claimed a $100 million deal between the real estate websites reduced rental advertising competition. Authorities say Zillow paid Redfin to show only rental listings that are also shown on Zillow's sites. Parts of the settlement calls for Zillow and Redfin to launch standalone advertising for rentals. And only in Newsday, a new Netflix film starring Whoopi Goldberg and backed by former First Lady Michelle Obama will be shot in Shelter Island. Officials say Netflix will film the original comedy Women Like Us, starring Goldberg, Jennifer Lewis, Vanessa Williams, and Vivica Fox between September 21st and October 1st. And only in Newsday, several school districts across the island dropped required reading this summer. Instead, educators are embracing choice-based summer reading, which allows students to pick their own books. It comes after finding kids fail to complete their summer work. Supporters say giving students a choice could help trigger a deeper interest in reading. And the Suffolk Sheriff's Department is helping Long Island kids get ready for school. People lined up outside the jail in Yaphank to get free backpacks filled with school supplies.
Pencils, pens, rulers, whatever a classroom would need for a specific age group is what we provided in those backpacks.
In addition to school supplies, the kids also got pajamas. The 5th annual event was made possible through donations.
Out East with Doug Geed is brought to you by Connect One Bank, a better place to be.
A brewery on the East End is embracing fresh air and fresh ingredients to attract customers. So let's head out east with Doug Geed.
What do you get if you combine a couple of football fields, put up a huge tent with picnic tables, add a few patios, and build a building with steel tanks inside? A brewery. I'm Doug Geed, out east on Newsday TV. Let's give you a tour of the Jamesport Farm Brewery.
Jamesport Farm Brewery is an amazing property. It's just over 40 acres. And we actually grow our own hops, barley, and sunflowers. So it's really farm to pint.
The front part of the 40-acre farm is what's open to the public, the brew house and indoor tasting room, plus the sprawling outdoor area. There's a huge tent in the center with picnic tables. There's scattered seating throughout the grounds, as well as a cornhole area. And while they grow hops to use in their beers, other hop vines are used as a kind of curtain for semi-private seating areas that you can rent for 2-hour blocks.
They're really cool. They've got some nice shade. We are family friendly here and dog friendly, which is great. We love to be inclusive, but it is nice to have your own little semi-private space.
The brewery was recently sold to the new owners, the same family that owns Water Drinker, the family farm in Manorville that also includes the Long Island Farm Brewery.
Some beers also travel back and forth between both, but we try to have distinct flagships for each respective location.
Here at Jamesport, there's a wide mix of beers, including summer seasonals, such as their blueberry ale.
We have started a cider program. We have a peach mango one right now. Coming up is a pumpkin cider as well as a apple cider donut cider.
And with the arrival of fall, an extremely busy time on the East End, Jamesport will also be holding a week-long Oktoberfest.
So that's going to start September 24th to October 5th. And we have all types of German-styled food, music, stein holding contests, and of course some German beer to try out as well.
In Riverhead for Newsday TV, I'm Doug Geed.
Apple cider donuts, that sounds amazing. And a beer, cider, whatever it is, sounds good. All right, here's another look at your Long Island forecast with meteorologist Jeff Benson.
It was a pretty nice Monday out there. Couple of spot showers started to develop as we headed towards the late afternoon. Now, through the early evening, it's not out of the question that we'll see that. But other than that, it's a nice evening, mostly clear skies and fully clearing after midnight. And the temperatures, because of that reason, are going to be allowed to drop to some pretty cool levels, much like they were earlier this morning, Monday morning. We were waking up to even some upper 50s out towards the Hamptons. So that's possible again, this time of year, especially when you have dry air masses and you get full clear skies at night. That heat just goes on up into the atmosphere, and you wake up to some cooler temperatures. So yeah, don't rule out a spot shower, typically north of the LA, drifting northeast. That goes away as the sun goes down. We lose the energy source. That upper level low that we spoke about earlier in the show, that's still around up over the northeast. So we could see maybe a sprinkler or two tomorrow, but other than that, another nice day. And then Wednesday, we don't have any rain chances whatsoever. We'll have a mostly sunny day once again, but clouds start to thicken up as we head into Thursday. I don't think Thursday's looking like a washout at this point, but there will be a better chance of showers and thunderstorms as this cold front tracks through later in the day, especially something to keep in mind there. Speaking of tracking, we have not had much to track in the Atlantic Basin this hurricane season. Finally starting to see some signs of life. 2 areas the National Hurricane Center gives a 50% chance of development. I'm not too concerned with this. I don't even think the chances are maybe as good as they're giving it here, but either way, it's not going to impact us even if it does develop. But this one with a more westward track, the strongest wave that we've seen come off the African coast, and all computer guidance is in agreement that this is likely going to spin up and develop into a named storm here. But because of the Bermuda High being as far east as it is, I think it recurves out to sea before it can even get close to the eastern seaboard of the United States. So that's good news. Temperatures tonight, again, on the cool side, 60 to 65, partly cloudy skies early and then clear overnight. Mostly sunny skies for your Tuesday. Beautiful day out there tomorrow. Watch out for a sprinkle in the afternoon. Wednesday looking good. Thursday, showers and thunderstorms, and then smooth sailing as we head into the final weekend of August. You're watching Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
There's more to Long Island than you know when you picture this. Join Macy Egland for a journey through some of the major moments in Long Island's past through the lens of the Newsday archives. Picture This, available now at newsday.com/picturethis.
We bring you the information that helps you make sense of your day.
We're out there covering the Long Island news that you can't find anywhere else.
We cover more than headlines. We cover what's going on in your town.
We're here every day bringing you what's happening on Long Island.
We take you inside what's happening in every corner of your community. We're your destination
for exclusive Long Island news.
Newsday TV.
Covering Long Island like no one else can.
I like making travel feel fun, fresh, and totally doable. My name is Carissa Kelman, and I'm a travel reporter for Newsday. We show a side other outlets might not, because we are hyper-local, and we are making sure that everything relates back to a Long Islander. My goal is simple: take you someplace new or help you fall in love with a place you thought you already knew. Whether it's a weekend trip or a new favorite spot, I want to curate the next great memory for somebody.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
There's a lot of political noise around immigration.
It's a major story on Long Island and across the country.
Immigrants being picked up in different places on Long Island.
Families really being ripped apart.
There are certain types of stories that every news outlet will do, but there's a lot just sitting in the shadows, often ignored.
That's why Newsday is such a critical institution on Long Island.
We have to be fair and balanced.
Being able to get data and facts and numbers for people to look at and ground our understanding of what's happening.
To shine a light on injustices that are happening out there.
To raise the voice of the unheard.
If we at Newsday were not telling these stories.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
From the Newsday Hub, here is your business news. There's fewer options this fall and winter for people flying Frontier Airlines out of MacArthur Airport. Myrtle Beach service will end on September 8th, with Tampa ending on October 5th, and service to Fort Myers and Palm Beach is no longer being offered. Now, by December, Frontier will only fly to Orlando out of MacArthur. And only in Newsday, Sugar Bay Dessert Cafe in Hicksville has closed. They announced on Instagram that they plan to open a new eatery, Indulge Cafe, replacing late night sweets with a brunch experience, high tea, and luxury desserts. No word yet, though, on opening date. And a developer is asking for millions in tax breaks for proposed housing and retail project in Port Jefferson Station. Now, the project at the site of the former Port Jefferson Plaza shopping center would include 280 apartments and space for small restaurants and independent businesses. The development would also include a technology-focused collaboration hub for Stony Brook University engineers. Only only in Newsday. Critics say it's one of the fastest growing sports on the island. But as our Jared Veluzzi tells us, flag football participation is hurting other athletic programs.
Taylor Maletti of Hauppauge grew up each spring playing lacrosse, but when she entered high school, she switched over to a new sport in flag football. And it's a trend happening all across Long Island as flag football is exploding.
I've been playing lacrosse since I was in first grade, and I also played tackle football when I was younger. And then I also started playing flag in third grade. And then once I heard that flag was coming to Hauppauge, I knew I wanted to switch over because I've always loved playing football. I love watching it.
Taylor's dad, Steve Maletti, was the head coach of Hauppauge, and he saw other athletes making a similar decision.
I had kids come from lacrosse to play. We've had a couple from softball. So yes, they have given us a chance, and we haven't had too many people leave.
The numbers tell the story. Since the first official girls flag football season in the spring of 2023, participation has increased nearly 70%. Meanwhile, girls lacrosse participation has dropped over 18%, and softball participation has fallen more than 24%. Maletti will go on to play soccer in college, but she was a coach at the Hauppauge flag football summer camp as she plans to continue impacting the next generation.
It means a lot to me, and one day I want to coach flag and coach other sports, so it's just great being out here coaching younger girls and seeing how happy they are when they're playing.
From Hauppauge High School, I'm Jared Veluzzi, Newsday TV.
Going to be another beautiful night out there as we get towards, say, the midnight hour. Skies will fully clear, although only a few clouds before that. 60 to 65. Don't be shocked. Some of the Hamptons locations, the Pine Barrens, get down underneath 60 degrees. So maybe tomorrow morning for that commute, we might have to flick the temperature level up a few degrees. I'm not going to say the heat. I don't want to put that out there. It's still August after all, but these mornings are going to start to become more frequent as we track towards September. Beautiful commute forecast, though. Sunny skies, no weather issues to speak of tomorrow outside of a sprinkle heading into the afternoon. Temperatures ranging from 75 in Montauk to 80 degrees in Hicksville. Nice day out there overall. Wednesday follows suit, and then Thursday we'll see some showers and storms as we work our way later in the day. But the weekend right now is really looking nice.
Now see more on these stories over at Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and other services you see below. I'm Ken Buffa. More local news and your forecast coming up on Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
No one covers the East End like Doug Geed on Newsday TV.
A lot of Long Islanders say they prefer fall over summer, but they still want to enjoy the outdoors.
Explore the hidden and not so hidden gems of the North and South Fork.
This sprawling property on the North Fork has certainly changed over the centuries, but it's been farmed by the same family all those years.
On Out East with Doug Geed at Newsday.com/OutEast. Take an inside look at Long Island businesses as Newsday presents LI Works. Join Ken Buffa as he samples unique jobs and meets the people behind them. LI Works, now available at Newsday.com/LI Works. You'll always find something exciting with Carissa Kelman on Newsday TV. From vacations and destinations to hidden places and insider spaces. Let's go with Carissa Kelman, now available at Newsday.com/Carissa.
Long Island is fortunate to have some great schools.
The future of Long Island is in the classroom.
It makes a difference when people see their faces and experiences in the pages of our newspaper.
You want to know, how's it going at my old high school?
Parents and students alike are making big decisions about where to go to school, how much student debt to take on. And here at Newsday, we help people make those decisions about their lives.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
Albany is a beehive of activity. Protests outside, rallies on one side of the Capitol.
There's a lot of screaming up on the national part, but the things that impact us happen locally.
Readers can expect in-depth explainers that really dive into the issues that directly affect Long Islanders.
No other television station, no other newspaper is going to focus on the issues that affect Long Islanders as Newsday.
If you don't have anybody keeping an eye out for that, you got a problem.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.